people are like, sometimes you're in like the right state of mind to like really appreciate like the world and like people and like the beauty of everything. And like most people, like most of the time, cannot at all appreciate
any of it, the breadth of it,
any amount of reality.
I think people can't see it.
Yeah,
and
they can't.
I mean that in a sense of they are only aware of the stuff in their head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They really are in a little bubble of their own interpretations, of their own perceptions. You know what I mean? Like, to most people, they don't really consider that reality exists outside of their own ego or outside of their own bubble, right? Like, people view other people in the world through the lens of themselves only. And they genuinely don't care to think about any other perspectives to take on it, you know what I mean?
And would you say perspectives is how you cure that, really? Like how you get through that?
Look at things from as many subjective perspectives as you can, and try and get outside of it as much as you can.
Yeah.
Your own subjective interpretations of things, emotional interpretations of things, you know?
Yeah.
It's... Yeah, I don't know if I want to... There's no advice.
Yeah, no
you know
advice
what I mean?
you can really give. It's more... I might agree with you. It's more just, like, I don't want this to be a depressing pod.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have one every now and then.
Yeah, contemplative, sad one.
Yeah, it's just like, people are so bad at seeing the whole picture, like you were saying, like...
No one can see it, the whole picture, not me. You know?
Yeah, not the whole picture, but I feel like we can see enough, we're aware of enough, like, information and, like, media, and, like, how the universe works, that we can...
appreciate a lot more of it.
Appreciate a lot of it. And, like, nowhere near, like, all of it.
Yeah.
But we can definitely appreciate it.
It's a lot bigger than the bubble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely out of the bubble, out of a bubble.
Yeah. And I want to rephrase, there is advice. You know, anyone who's listening to this who you're the type of person to think like, oh, it's too late for me, or, no.
Yeah.
That is not what I'm saying. It's that it has to be you. Advice can help you, but if you don't...
You have to want to fix it. You have to want to change.
Exactly. The reason I'm even hesitating to state advice or whatever is because you'd have to be looking for it to listen to it and actually try and apply it to your life, right? You know, you could tell people a million things about what they should be doing. If they don't want to change, they're not going to.
Yeah.
You know, like me, like I know that I should fucking, jog every day or something. Like, there's things that I know would be fucking helpful or whatever. Like, I'm sure...
Everyone could probably agree with you there.
Yeah, and someone could come up to me every day of my life and tell me, listen, tomorrow, if you start jogging today, just do it. You could tell me over and over again, and I would never ever listen to you until I actually decided that I wanted to do that. Yeah. And then I might take some advice about it, right? And it's the exact same thing about spiritual growth as it is about physical health, right? Like...
It definitely feels more like spiritual growth, like...
Yeah.
When you really think about it, or when the puzzle pieces start... connected together.
And I say spiritual growth, I hate the term spiritual, it's been ruined by many stupid people.
Yeah, just growth.
Philosophical growth. Like, a growing in your understanding of yourself and the universe around you, Like, I mean, it doesn't mean learn maths or whatever, and learn... shit, it means a lot of things. You'll have gotten it from the rest of the podcast if, we discuss many things, but appreciating everything is...
It's important in my opinion, it's important, in my life at least. Like, I wouldn't be nearly as happy and okay with everything around me if I couldn't appreciate it.
Yeah, and it's like we were saying before, life is full of pitfalls and sand traps and bad emotions and dukkha, suffering. One of the
You
3
get stuck,
marks.
you have like an emotional trap.
Yeah. Little potholes and sinkholes and whirlpools and spirals and a million different little roads you can go onto and end up in a very unhealthy psychological place, which is where most people are at. I think some people think that healthy means average, and that is not what it means.
No.
The
average person is not healthy.
Yeah, a lot of sitcoms or TV shows or whatever will be like, we're all in this together. It's, you freaked out today, but everyone freaks out once in a while, and you can, et cetera, et cetera. It's all normal and healthy, write it off. And it's like, no. Most characters in sitcoms and TV that, like, freak out and they fucking, those people are unhealthy. Every show shouldn't be about being psychologically healthy. Like, I understand why they do it, but people get really the wrong impression of what healthy means. And, I think TV gives people a lot of weird impressions,
Yeah. You gotta remember when you're watching TV shows and stuff that you don't take it as at all truth.
At all. And that might sound obvious, but it's not anymore. And it never was obvious. Because there's a lot of TV shows where people will be like, oh, that really makes you think about the world. And there's some TV shows where people will be like, oh, you should take lessons from that. And there are, but you got to be extraordinarily selective.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't actually take lessons from shows. You should be able to see a show that supports a lesson that you already believe to be true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because TV gives people a lot of weird impressions, especially about love and relationships and friendships, and there's a lot of really weird stuff.
The relationships one as well.
Yeah, it's a big one.
People, from being raised like an objective scientist, people treat relationships so weirdly.
Like a story. They treat it like a narrative.
Yeah.
They're telling someone.
We're just two humans here. You know what I mean? I'm just a man. And whoever it is, a
man, a woman, whatever, two people.
We're just two monkeys.
Yeah. And, sexual attraction is, an instinct.
Yeah,
it's very, jealousy, bitterness, anxiety, all those things are not healthy. None of them, are good and healthy in the relationship. People always have weird messages about that a little bit of jealousy is good, a little bit of anxiety and bickering, and it's like, no.
Yeah, no, it's not.
All of that is failure of both parties to be,
happy together.
And to escape the ridiculousness of their own ego. You know what I mean?
I wonder if at any point, when people are in relationships like that, do they actually, put themselves in the other person's shoes at all?
I don't think they do. Because when I've been in intense relationships, especially when I was younger, you're caught in this instinctual bubble where you're just like, no, but keep this going. But all your emotions are so strong and you like them and you don't want to break your little ego bubble.
They make me feel good, and I swear I have better reactions when I use my emotions.
Exactly.
My relationships improve because I feel my honest emotions, and then
no.
False. Your whole thing you're saying, you're viewing it wrong.
Yeah.
You actually don't understand how it works if you feel that way.
Yeah. It's not true. It's never true.
Yeah, it's never been true for any human throughout all of history.
Yeah, you don't have to get angry and be weird and have... Emotional fighting is, in my opinion, stupid on all fronts, at all times.
Fighting.
Yeah, it's fake fighting because it's not a real discussion. Scientists in courts don't have, fights about how they feel, okay? They fucking determine the facts.
Yeah. They figure out the objective scientific proof.
Mm-hmm.
Can't speak words today.
Yep.
And they go with that only. They're not like, well, yes, this is the truth, but also, I don't like it. So you know what? We're not going to use it.
Yeah, no, that's not how it works.
It's not how it works, man.
Yeah. And it's not to say that in a relationship you should be entirely, clinical and weird.
Yeah, don't make it weird and transactional.
Yeah, don't be like weird and autistic about it or whatever. Like, no, that's not what we're saying. Like,
still be like
in love.
Act how you want to act. You
Yeah.
know? But don't make it like, oh well, I don't, I can't use any emotions here.
And the Buddhists have really great points about this because people always ask him like, oh, you're saying I should relinquish attachment? Well, I have kids, so you're saying I just shouldn't care about my kids? And like, there's a very simple answer to that they have, which, because that's an important question.
Yeah.
Like, attachment is seemingly important if you don't understand. And their answer is that if there's a way to love things without being egotistically attached to them.
Yeah.
In that, like, there's a way to love something without being scared it's going to go tomorrow and being, like...
It's like, you love music.
Yeah.
Every day, you're not afraid that song is going to go away forever.
Yeah, it's going to stop loving you or whatever.
It's you appreciate that song. And if it is the thing where every day you're afraid and you love it and you feel like it's like important in your identity, figure that out.
Yeah, figure that out, because that's a problem.
Because that's a problem.
Yeah. Same way with a relationship, if you're really dependent on it and you're scared of losing it and you freak out about it and you're like jealous and you're protective and that actually makes your love you will feel less love, first of all, and it will be shittier for both parties. Like, yeah. And it's a corruption of, like, it's a fucking monkey thing. Like, yeah. And it's important to be honest and stuff, like, in a relationship. Like, there's so many people, I would say 95% of people think that lying in relationships is, like, needed. Not only is it okay, they believe that it's 100% necessary for all relationships that lying is involved. No. It's not.
No, that's not true.
Not at all. True.
What are you doing? What kind of relationships are you having?
I've had many friends who are dishonest with their partners, and I often don't bring it up, but I always think, like, the relationship's over already.
Yeah, you've already failed in having a beneficial, healthy relationship.
Having a genuine relationship with another person, you've already failed at it because you're lying to them. Yeah. So already it's over. Like, you don't respect them enough to tell them the truth.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you don't actually respect them. That's what that shows.
Yeah, and if you're worried about how they will react to the truth, then you don't actually respect how they think and feel with the world. Like,
because you don't respect them enough to let them, like, actually have their honest opinion on what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I've had relationships before where I just realized at some point that I didn't respect the other person anymore because I was lying. I was being dishonest. I didn't feel like I was worried that I couldn't say how I actually felt because they would react negatively to it and we wouldn't be able to communicate through it. And the relationship was over. It was over. Because at that point, it's over. You're not going to be honest with the other person. You're not going to have real conversations with the other person. You don't actually respect the other person's worldview. Why are you together at that point? Which might seem like high expectations. I am very aware that 99% of all marriages ever have been full of lies and miscommunication and different worldviews and stuff that people just don't ever sort out. Like, people say that, like, about political views or about other worldviews, religious views, whatever it is, that, like, you could get married to someone and that, like, disagreement is healthy and it's fine. It's like, no. If you are two reasonable people who can communicate, there honestly should be no topic that you cannot agree on.
Yeah, if you're both using, like, facts and logic and science. And you're unable to convince each other, something's wrong.
Something's wrong. You need to either find more information and come to a conclusion. Like, you and I have never, ever had to agree to disagree.
No, never.
Never. It's never happened. Because it doesn't ever need to happen.
Because that's not how science works.
Yeah. If we should be able, unless one of us is an idiot or both of us, we should be able to come to, through talking, we should be able to come to an agreement about anything. Like, that's not a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, think about the fact that you, what's the theoretical viewer that fits perfectly the descriptions here.
Yep.
The fact that, like, I forgot what I was going to say, fuck it.
It's okay. We're about 30 seconds from the end here. We're going to do a 15 minutes.
Alright, well, let's make it fun this last 25 seconds now. Hey, Oscar, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is grapple.
Grapple?
Yeah, grapple. You've actually mispronounced it and I hate you. And I'm never...
What was it? Grapple?
It's grapple.
Grapples!
Get your grapples. That's 53 rapples.
Alright. I
Okay.
end it now.
Here's a reference, right?